All right, so a lot of developers are wondering and are concerned, will AI take my job? And the concerns are not misplaced at all, because when you look at the headlines, you see the different things. AI is able to generate a full website, AI can generate a full app, AI is replacing developers, and the list goes on and on and on. And you can understand the concern, you can understand the worry. But the story is actually way more interesting than that. And in fact, AI is indeed changing the whole landscape of the technology industry. We can't go around that. There is no denying it that there's definitely a paradigm shift. And therefore, what we understand is that what is actually changing is what it means to be a software developer. And let's discuss it. So let's start with the most obvious, that yes, AI is changing some simple tasks, and there are some low-hanging fruits, for want of a better term. So we know that AI can in fact generate some code. We can always ask AI to generate a login form. We can ask AI to build out some simple UI components, or AI can even generate a full front end for a website. So yes, we know that. So things that used to take maybe an hour or even 2 hours, we can get it done in 5 minutes. We can get it done in 2 minutes, because we can just send a prompt and AI can just do it on the fly, just like that. So because of this, of course, what it does is that it makes some parts of the development process less valuable. Doesn't mean that it's not important, but it just makes it less valuable. Software development has never been about just writing code. So here's the part that most person misunderstand, that software design, software development is not just about writing code. Real software is about systems. So developers have to know how to think about things like how will the data flow throughout the application, throughout the system. How will authentication be handled? What happens when an API fails? What happens if an API is cancelled before there is a success? What happens if it times out? Stuff like those. How to keep the system secure? How is role and permission handled throughout the system? So the AI can never truly understand the entire concept, or the entire context rather, of the system like a good software developer. It may have a snapshot, but it will never get the full context of the system. And that is where good software developer comes in. So where we might actually see the biggest impact of AI having some sort of a negative impact is on the junior software developer level. Because what happens is that usually at the junior level, this is where developers would be tasked with doing the more simpler things, building out the simpler UIs, fixing small bugs, or even just doing little things that are more or less complex. So because this is where now the AI is able to be good at, you're talking about fixing the small bugs, building the little UI components, stuff like those. And usually this is where the junior developers usually learn a lot, because fixing code normally help them to build a much needed experience. So because of this, now what will happen is that it makes the area of junior software developers more competitive, and the barrier to entry is much more higher. All right, so if AI is changing how work gets done, then what happens to software developers? It means that they have to spend less time writing manual code and thinking about system architecture, thinking about guiding the AI tools, thinking about reviewing the actual generated code, and fixing complex problems. And also, last but not least, ensuring system security and performance. So in other words, the job itself would shift from writing codes per se to more engineering judgment. And this leads to something very important, that fundamentals still matter. And I cannot stress it enough, fundamentals still matter. And a lot of persons right now are thinking, well, I can use AI to generate a full app. I can use AI to generate a full website. I can do it to generate an entire project. Why do I still need to learn the basics? Why do I still need to learn the fundamentals? The fundamentals still matter because you don't want to not understand what the AI is generating. You still need to understand what is being presented to you. So the developers who will struggle in this AI era will be the ones who only know how to put pieces together. But the developers who will excel will be the ones who are able to have a good grasp on software design fundamental principles like programming logic, data modeling, system design, debugging, performance, and security. So these developers who understand these things will be the ones who will remain far more valuable than those who just know how to put pieces together. So a developer who only knows how to prompt the AI tool will never be as valuable as a developer who can also prompt and also understand the fundamentals of programming logic. AI still needs someone who understands what the program or the software is supposed to do. The better you understand, better you are able to prompt. Will AI change software development? Absolutely, most definitely. But will it eliminate good developers? Highly unlikely. What it will do though is raise the bar. Software developers will move from just writing code to persons who think in terms of systems. Embrace AI and be more efficient, be more effective. So in the future, the best developers will not be the ones who shy away from it, but they will be the ones who embrace AI and use it best. Think about an already good developer who uses AI. Can only become better, can never become worse. But I want to hear from you. If you're a developer, is AI making you faster? Or do you see a reason where you should feel worried or concerned about the future of your job? If you're not a developer, do you think AI is just another tool for developers, or you think it could replace programmers altogether? Comment tool if you think AI is just another tool, or comment threat if you think AI can actually replace them. Let me know in the comments.